Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fireside Chats with Farina, Pride and Prejudice season. And today we're here to talk about everybody's favorite heroine, Lizzy Bennet. Elizabeth Bennet is not the eldest Bennet sister. She is the second sister. Jane Bennet, who we'll talk about next episode, is the eldest and the prettiest. That's really important. Here's what makes Lizzy Bennet so awesome, is it's acknowledged by the narrator right from the beginning and by Mrs. Bennet, their mother. She's not the prettiest, she's not the smartest, she's not the anythingist, but she's the grittiest Bennet sister, we'll say. She's the headstrongest Bennet sister. She knows herself best. That's what's fascinating about Lizzy Bennet. Lizzy Bennet she's a myth almost. She's become one of those characters who, like other great literary heroes and heroines before her, has almost become a mythological, has I guess reached mythological status. She's like Odysseus. She's like Hamlet, right? She's that big of a deal, and playing Lizzy Bennet in all the movies, that's a huge big deal. Playing Darcy is also a huge big deal. And we'll talk about him later. But we're going to go from the Bennet. We're going to deal with the Bennets right now. So, but what makes Lizzy Bennet so amazing is that her mother constantly berates her. Everybody knows her older sister is nicer than her and prettier than her. Lizzy says it herself. Her best friend Charlotte Lucas is also nicer than her. Mary, her younger sister, is smarter than her, and her other sisters are wilder than her and more courageous than her. But there's just something about her that she doesn't need to be any of those things. Lizzy Bennet, what makes Lizzy Bennet so great of a character is her ability to fight the system, to say no when no one else will say no, to be able to say, come what may, I'm going to do the right thing. And sometimes it's even something really simple, like I'm going to walk. So there's a scene in the book where she walks to go visit Jane, who's been sick and has to lay out at a neighboring estate. And it's a walk. And she walks and she gets there, and her dress gets dirty, and oh my God, and there's a whole thing with some of the villains, they make fun of her or whatever, but she's just okay. Like, it doesn't occur to her to not just do the thing. What makes Lizzy so great is she doesn't second guess what she does. Yes, she learns, she grows. But, we'll talk when we wrap it all up. We'll talk about the pride and the prejudice of it all, and who's got the pride and who's got the prejudice, and is it her, or is it Darcy? Who's the one? Or is it her parents? Or is it the Bingleys? There's this whole thing that's happening. But what I think Lizzy is so sure of herself, it just doesn't occur to her to give a damn. She doesn't care what you think. She doesn't care what anybody thinks. Yes, sure, she wants to be in the good opinion of her father. She would like her mother to like her. Most importantly, she wants Jane to like her. Jane loves her. Jane loves her with wild abandon. Lizzy Bennet is Jane Bennet's favorite person. And so she does like her and she loves her. And she does want Charlotte Lucas to think well of her. These people, she knows she's safe around them. And so she sort of walks through the world being like loved by these two amazing people who were girls with her and now women with her. And there's this really amazing bond between the three of them that gives Lizzy this strength that neither Jane nor Charlotte has, which is interesting. It's that Lizzy is the person she is because Charlotte and Jane help her, protect her. They do the things on her behalf, as it were. So it's really an amazing look at this really strong-willed, and some say headstrong, I say strong-willed, and it's funny how those two words can be used interchangeably. But in this case, she's strong-willed. She's not headstrong. She's not stubborn. Yes, she has blind spots, but she knows. Again, she's all in all the time. There's never a half-ass moment with Lizzy Bennet. She's whole ass all the time, and that's what makes her really great. She admits when she's wrong. She admits that she can't do everything. She doesn't think she can do everything. There's a moment when they're like, "Oh, I can't draw at all. I don't play music. I'm bad at this. People are like, oh, I hear you're really good at music. She's like, well, that's a lie. That's not true. Why would anyone say I'm really good at music? If anybody said that, they're a liar. She likes to read, though. She likes to think big thoughts. She likes to take walks. She likes to be with her sisters, with Jane in particular. But she just wants to be who she is, and she's this icon of self-reliance, and really she goes on a journey of self-discovery. And while it does end with the wedding, with her getting married, it's still her own journey of self-discovery, her ability to get married only when she knows herself. And that's her journey, and that's what makes her so iconic. Lizzy Bennet, super great, really amazing. I understand why all actors want to play her, and why when there's a Lizzy Bennet cast, it becomes news. So yeah, and that's why it made perfect sense when Seth Grahame-Smith made Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, because of course Lizzy Bennet would be the head of a ninja family who kills zombies. Duh. And she's still second oldest, but she's the best of them because she's the strongest. So she's great. Lizzy Bennet is great. So what are your thoughts on Lizzy Bennet? Tell me, is she strong-willed or is she headstrong? Are those words the same thing to you? Let me know. And join us in 2 weeks when we talk about her older, most perfect sister, Jane Bennet, who I think is great too. All right, we'll see you then. Bye now.